The dashcam auto synced a kiss to my cloud. The cloud notified me of a memory I didn't make. It was raining on the loading dock, honest rain, not cinematic, and I was bargaining with a palate that had learned to sulk. My phone buzzed with the gentle arrogance tech uses for favors you didn't ask for. Your drive cam automatically uploaded a new incident. Tap to review. Our car had never been in a crash. It just thought strong feelings counted as impact. I tapped. A thumbnail opened into a file named with the sort of timestamp that pretends to be neutral. 2025-08-1221-46-33 front. MP4. The dashcam had dutifully captured 47 seconds of our sedan parked under a weak streetlight on Bodenivska. Wipers paused like they didn't dare contribute. The angle was a fixed confession. Hood, curb, doorframe, the far slice of sidewalk. Then the passenger door opened, and my wife stepped into the grainy cone of light. Myra had her hair tied the way she does when she intends to behave. She was smiling in the precise way people smile just before they stop pretending not to be brave. Roman came into frame blurry, and then specific, taller than I want him to be, the hood of his jacket shedding rain in a rhythm that would make a microphone apologize. He said something I couldn't hear, and she laughed the laugh the city uses as currency. She handed him my car key through the open door like a new dictionary. He took it, and for a second both of them looked at my camera without seeing it. He leaned in and kissed her the way practiced restraint finally allows itself a sentence. No nudity. No gesture a censor could object to. Only the particular, devastating fact of a kiss that didn't mind being archived. I watched the clip 3 times as if endurance could become wisdom. The cloud, proud of its housekeeping, offered options. Share, save, delete. The forklift operator yelled my name from the far end of the dock like a kind of mercy. I put the phone in my jacket, pretended to be useful for 11 minutes, and then drove home through a dusk so well-behaved it felt like mockery. Our building smelled like soap and the polite rot of late summer. The neighbor's baby was practicing consonants with militant cheer. Inside, the apartment wore innocence like a coat it had grown into. Basil tyrannized the counter. 2 glasses waited near the sink like easy alibis. Myra was in the bedroom, half bent over the low dresser, a sweater slung across her shoulders like a verdict that hadn't been delivered. "You got a notification," I said, because my mouth wanted to be less cruel than the facts. She turned and read the truth off my face in one move. She has always been literate that way. "Alex," she said, my name functioning as apology, history, petition. "Our dashcam sent me a kiss," I answered, and the room declined to help. She took a step toward me, then stopped like she'd remembered how doors work. "It auto-records when the motion sensor triggers," she said. "I meant to disable it." "You meant," I repeated, and the Basil nodded like a conspiracy. She exhaled and did the thing I married her for, didn't pretend. "I wanted to watch it later and know I hadn't hallucinated a goodbye," she said. "Or a hello. I'm tired of deciding afterward which one it was." The cloud in my pocket still believed it was being helpful. I pulled the phone and set it on the dresser between us, the thumbnail sitting there like a small bomb that had already gone off. We stood in our bedroom with a video as a third witness, and the bed, the old conspirator, refused to provide commentary. 21 days, I said, because that number is the only bravery I can guarantee. 3 weeks where our car doesn't learn anyone else's mouth. No more uploads that mistake drama for safety. If at the end you still need footage to prove the way you move toward him, I will hand you the key and the password. But you won't be able to say I didn't park on our street and leave the doors unlocked. Her throat worked around a laugh that didn't hate me. "And what do you bring?" she asked. besides terms in the cloud. Now, I said, I bring now like an avalanche. I stop saving appetite for weekends and mood lighting. I stop letting competence eat the parts of me you used to request. I show up before the upload. The corner of her mouth tried to be rescued by hope. Do you want me now? She said, not coy, not generous, auditing. Yes, I said, and in that second the room recalled the correct gravity. We kissed not like a rebuttal but like a map that refuses to be replaced. Her hand went to the back of my neck the way it always has when something in the world makes sudden sense. I put my palm on her ribs, the place a heart suggests translation. It wasn't acrobatic, it was specific. If our dash cam had watched, it would have filed it under speed under the limit, excellent visibility. We stopped before we made the cloud jealous. In the kitchen, she leaned against the counter and I poured water like a better man. We didn't talk about Roman because there's only so much oxygen you can give to an architecture. We talked instead about rules I know how to keep. No cameras at home, I said. No devices keeping score. No later unless we say when. If jealousy knocks, we hand it a dish towel or it waits on the landing. She reached under the counter for the heavy pan and set it like a punctuation mark. And the car? She asked. The car learns only routes we want our children to memorize, I said, and the sentence startled me by arriving already true, even without the children. Day 1 I failed. At 5:18 she sent me a photo of the elevator mirror, hair up and mouth doing its old honorable mischief, captioned with the monosyllable we're building a house with, now. My thumbs wrote 15. I deleted the lie and wrote coming, then actually came. We kissed in the doorway like people who finally trust thresholds as furniture. Day 2, I logged into the dashcam app and killed every automation that believed in witnesses. Auto upload off. Impact sensitivity down. Valet mode disabled. The UI asked me 3 times if I was sure. I told it 3 times that I lived here. Myra watched me do it and slid her fingers into my waistband and said, "Thank you for trusting the dark." Day 4, Roman texted a small sentence, something he's getting better at. I didn't know the car would remember me. She showed me, I nodded. She replied with a photo of our street from inside our car, windshield full of low, honest sky. No caption. He didn't try to invent one. Day 5, Dasha invited us to an installation of screens showing roads that don't exist. We are practicing, not documenting, I wrote back. She said, you'll be bad at it then good, which is exactly the kind of forgiveness I deserve. Day 6, I saw Roman on the river path, running the precise pace of a person trying to outrun his curriculum. He lifted a hand. I lifted nothing. I am learning to leave no trace, he called. That includes not being proud of it, I said, and we left each other at that. Day 7, the car behaved itself. We took it nowhere and then somewhere cheap. In a parking lot whose light had never been flattering to anyone, Myra said now like a traffic sign, and I leaned across the console and kissed her with the full attention my mouth is built for. The dashcam's dead eye faced forward, merciful, ignorant. We laughed like conspirators who finally stole the right thing. Day 8, the cloud sent me a different notification. We noticed you haven't saved in a while. I turned off reminders the way you cover a mirror after a funeral. On the bookshelf, the printer that once tried to be brave by betraying us hummed with loneliness. I unplugged it. Quiet machines, messy people. That's the plan. Day 9, we fought about a pothole. Not metaphorically. A real hole on a real street that had concussed our suspension and then our mood. You always take that road, she said. You always tell me the shortest way is the honest one, I said. We stopped taking the sentence personally and kissed until we remembered we liked to be wrong together. Day 11, she sent me a track from the album we used to pretend made us better, drums like wet cement, lyrics like past notes. Tonight, she typed, I showed up with stupid flowers and a lasagna that believed in itself. We ate and then didn't for a while. The house applauded by not falling down. Day 13, my mother asked how we were doing in the kind of text that uses 3 heart emojis because language fails her at intimacy. I sent back a photo of the car parked under our window, rain choosing not to be dramatic, wipers resting, no witnesses. She replied with a thumbs up and a recipe for a cake that always collapses and still tastes like forgiveness. Day 14, I found the clip again while clearing storage, the kiss that wasn't mine. I watched it one last time and said out loud in the kitchen like a person learning to cast good spells, "Thank you, you don't live here." I pressed delete. The cloud asked me if I was sure the way bad memories pretend to be moderation. Yes, I said. The app went quiet and so did something in my chest. Day 15, I installed corner shelves. They hold nothing important, cookbooks we don't obey, an ugly postcard from a good summer. But I needed to lift something that stays up. Myra held the level and told me when the bubble agreed. We made out once to celebrate a straight line, then twice because lines aren't what we're trying to be. On day 21, nothing ceremonial happened. She came home smelling like weather and work and put her bag down and leaned against the door the way she does when she is asking me to be the next room. "Do you still want me now?" she said. "Always," I said, a word I've decided to maintain like a machine that earns its power. We kissed, specific and stupid, then ate something unmemorable and cleaned the counters and left a pan in the sink to prove we were not trying to pass an inspection. A week after the deletion, a small padded envelope arrived with no return address. Inside, the dashcam's microSD card and a note in handwriting careful enough to be in exile. "You can keep the car," it read. "I'll walk." No signature. I took the card to the balcony and snapped it between my fingers. It made a sound like plastic becoming sand. I swept it into the trash and then went inside and kissed my wife like the only archive that deserves to keep us is the warm place behind our teeth. Sometimes my phone still offers to help, suggested albums, quiet summaries of trips it thinks we made, files it found on our behalf. I let the notifications stack like snow, then clear them without ceremony. When I slide into the driver's seat and the console lights up, it greets me with nothing but a fan that believes in moving air. That is enough. We drive to the market and argue about peaches. We park where we're not supposed to and promise to be faster than enforcement. We do not document, we choose. If you want a rule a device can obey, disable auto uploads, rename your automation, block polite ghosts. If you want the worse, better rule humans have earned by bleeding, stop teaching your machines to be historians of your life. You will never like their book. Bring your mouth to the room while your body is still there. Say now before the file exists. Say later, only when you intend to make the next 2 minutes better. Say always, rarely, and then spend your day making it boringly true. Last night on our way to bed, she paused beside the window that faces the little slice of street where we keep pretending nobody watches anybody. She pointed at the car. The hood was a dark coin. "Remember when we thought proof was safety," she said. "Proof is a hobby," I answered. "This is a job." "Then get to work," she said, and stepped backward down the hall like a person inviting a camera to track a shot, except no camera followed because we have finally laid some to rest. I did what I said I would do. I showed up with nothing in my hands but my hands. The house, poor thing, believed us. The rain, exhausted, stopped trying to help. And in the morning, the cloud stayed quiet, which is to say we had done the day correctly, which is to say nobody but us knows how much of it we spent alive.